We truly are the all-American story, where you have a thought, you have a idea, things kind of gel together. And it wasn't because we knew what we were doing. I want to be very, very clear about that.
Our parents started this company in their garage, so it was 24/7. The phone would ring all hours of the day. My mother had a notepad and pencil by the bed taking orders.
Our offices were in the basement. Our distribution was in the garage. My parents built Western Sizzlin' Steakhouses. The thing that would most commonly keep them from opening on time and getting their bonus was the restaurant equipment. So my dad started calling all the presidents of factories and got set up to where he could buy direct and store the stuff in his garage.
Well, guess what? We're out of space. When that filled up, we found a small building, 6,000 square feet, that was within 2 miles of our home. And so we purchased that small building. And I remember the day we walked in and I said, Tim, what are we going to do with this?
My godfather at the time, he owned a mail order catalog distribution business, and he said to my father, Tim, he said, let me show you how to start a mail order catalog company.
He had this little computer, and he would go to classes at night and figure out how to do layout and artwork and all this stuff. He built this catalog, and then we began to mail it out. So it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew, and we finally paid that little dab of building off, and then we saved up money until we could put the next segment of building on. But as fate would have it, none of us were promised anything. One morning, our children had grown up by then, and our son was about to turn 16. Drop him off at school, get to work. The phone rings. It's Paula. Mom, Dad's laying in the driveway. What do I do? The ambulance gets there, takes over. We all get to the emergency room. We're waiting for the good news, and the good news never came. So together, we went to the local park. Small bench, the three of us, devastated, not knowing what to do. We had 18 single head of household women that worked for us. So there was no way I could walk out that door and say, I'm never coming back. So we came to a conclusion that I would continue on with KTOM. Paula went back to school, graduated with honors. Charlie would come in every day after school, and he'd go sit at his dad's desk. But 30 days from the date of his passing, he had 5 projects on the table, and I made absolutely sure that all 5 projects were completed. The first one being www.katom.com. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I did know that from the time Paula was old enough to hold a mouse in her teeny tiny little hand, her dad would put his big hand on top of hers and roll it around the little pad and teach her how to do layout. And I said, baby, I need you here.
In the time past, he had set it up. The feeds of the data, the way it was structured, it was causing chaos, and it was causing chaos that my mother didn't know how to write. And I didn't know how to write either, but I knew the way I thought was very much like my father, and I knew in the way I thought I could assist with someone who did know in working through it. And so myself and James is the other one on our team that he and I, from that stage, were really involved in as we've reworked the systems that my father set up that made sense back then. But so we joke about, I mean, there's stuff we still unravel today that was my dad's. And we laugh because, like, Dad, are you trying to mess with me here?
When I started working for KTOM full-time after college, my mom sat me down and she said, just want to let you know, I'll always be your mother, but in this building, I am your boss. In this building, I expect you to work harder than anybody else. So that was a delineation that was important. We're a family business. Family stuff's always going to kind of come into the business, but I think the family part of the business actually is one of the strengths of the business because we're very close and we can trust each other. And at the end of the day, we know that while we may have disagreements, we all have each other's back. And if we can all come to the same page, we will be unstoppable.
When we are here, it is business. It's business with love in the background. The root of that is true and the intent is true of what we're trying to achieve, what they bring to the table is not different at home versus what it is here. So that honesty, that integrity, commitment to society and to our employees and to us as individuals, that's what I think makes that bond. It brings that unity from a family into the workplace.
It really is instilled in all aspects of the company to come in every day and say, okay, what can we do better? How do we do this better? How do we improve?
If we are always innovating and thinking about how do we provide more value to our customers, and then we make the right decision for our KTOM team members, then we're going to end up in a good place.
It's been 21 years, 21 hard years of doing things that I didn't have a clue what I was doing things that were super, super uncomfortable. But I found there was one trick, and it always worked. Show up and put one foot in front of the other every day.